hopefully improve the situation, which they probably did. And I think their attack suffered because they had no dummy half, and that's something this week with what's coming back in that will maybe rectify that problem.
And we will analyse that fully a little bit later on. Now, the sides have been announced for this weekend. There's a ton of changes. Maybe your team is affected. No, you're safe. You're still there.
I'm still there? OK.
Just. We'll run through every change to every team. Up next, though, we talk tactics with Bulldogs coach Kevin Moore. And as we go to the break, let's hear from one of your teammates, Noddy, Luke Patton, and what he really thinks of you.
Hello, Luke.
Sort of helps me. I just listen to him and just run off him all day. So he probably hasn't shut up his whole show, I don't know. But I'm not going to give him too much of a rap, so yeah.
He puts a fend on Rogers.
38 metres out, struck it nicely.
As he was. Patton looking at Elmerdsley, he'll get it over. Patton, he goes in and gets another. Noddy Kamali, in his 15th year, he runs 80 metres to score.
That's the furthest Noddy has run in about 3 years. Welcome back to NRL Tactics. This week we talk tactics with the Bulldogs. Their campaign for the minor premiership faltered at the weekend with a loss to Parramatta, but after 20 rounds they have a 13-win, 5-loss record. Kevin Moore shies away from the raps but certainly deserves them. Not a great deal is known about the new coach, so we asked him to self-assess. How does he best describe his coaching style?
I think I'll leave it to other people to, I suppose, assess what type of coach I am. If you talk about this year, I think what's important, what has been important to me is, obviously coming into the job for the first time. I think, your culture and things like your attitude and behaviours are incredibly important. I think if you get that right, it gives you a much better chance to do what you want to do on the football field. Obviously, with the team going well and being successful on the field, that makes it for a much more fun environment. But, I suppose as a coach, you're ready yourself. You're going to have ups and downs. So I think it's important that I stay consistent with who I am and what I believe in.
I firmly believe that too. Great head on his shoulders. God, he's like Dad, who you know very well.
Yeah, Bullfrog was a legend at Canterbury, and Kevin's been at the club a long time and comes from pretty good stock, and he's got some very good people around him, and I'm really happy that he's doing a great job and the Bulldogs are going pretty well. Okay,
tell you the truth, we don't have anything to hide here. Kevin Moore was hesitant in doing this tonight with us. First year in, a great deal of success, doesn't want to come off as the wonder coach or knowing everything, and we're certainly not betraying him in that light, but as I said, geez, he deserves some raps. What he's doing with this footy side is excellent.
Oh, and you hear later, and just then, other people let him judge. What I think his strength is, he just stays the same bloke all year. He's very approachable. When we've had those situations where the video ref that was probably the wrong call and other things that are going against us. He said, "Oh, don't worry, boys, we'll be okay. We'll win next week. It'll be okay." So, and been around the club for a long while and great football knowledge. So it's got all that going together. I think the name, the club, it all forms a good package. And it's an easy year for him. We're winning.
Yeah.
Let's see in a few years if he has a tough year. You'll know what the coaching's like in your Hagues.
Then he'll retire.
Then it's time to go. The Dogs were last year's wooden spooners. Logically, everything has improved this year. But what aspect of their game are they still most concerned with?
I think one of the big things is probably our kick chase and escorting. Anything to do with the kicks. A lot of our tries have been through kicks against us. If you look, probably at least half of them are kicks. So just when the ball obviously gets kicked, a lot of us switch off. So obviously the escorting, and when we're also kicking our kick chase, a big part of winning games is where you get them to start their set. If you can lock them in their 10-metre zone, you're on your way to pretty much winning a game.
Defensively, we probably have focused on that a fair bit throughout the year. We probably weren't as good as we would have liked at the start of the year, but being a new side, that's going to take time to come together. And I think over the last few weeks we've shown some really good signs from a defensive point of view, particularly on-line defence, where we scramble for each other and work really hard for each other. And I think our structures are fairly sound at the moment. So we need to make sure that remains the case, because we know that if you get through to finals footy, that's something that you've got to have. If you don't defend well, you're not a chance of winning.
Okay, we heard from Ben, we heard from Kev. I'll ask you, what are you still most concerned with that this footy side isn't doing right?
Well, I think last week we showed when we were a little bit off, our kick chase was a little bit poor. Jared Hayne ran 80 or 90 metres on one of our kick. And I think kick chase is just enthusiasm.
Is that you? Kick chase? Is that you leading it? Kick chase has been what you've pinned yourself on?
Yeah, and I think, when you do those simple things right, line speed, kick chase, good field position, you win most football games. So basics is what we'll probably all have to push this week. Let's get back, kick well, chase well, try and win a football game. And then hopefully you get some turnovers and you get a chance to score.
As far as the premiership market is concerned, a lot of people have blown the Dogs right out. One hiccup, a timely one or untimely?
Yeah, I think it's not going to hurt them. I mean, I thought they had a couple of guys that played Origin 10 days ago. Brett Kamali, Michael Innes, Morris. Ben Hannett first came back. Goodwin hadn't played for a couple of weeks. I think they're going to be very good in the next 5 or 6 weeks. And this week will be a tough game against South.